Hello and welcome to another edition of For the Record. I'm Sean Murphy. Today we are broadcasting from the historic Old Mystic Village, Mystic, Connecticut. Truly a beautiful place to visit, to shop, and just be a part of. And I'm here with Joyce Olson Resnikoff, as part. And you've been a part of Old Mystic Village for, you said, 40 years.
40 years. My twin brother, he's older, 20 minutes. He did the construction, and I did the legal and the leasing and the marketing.
Now, Old Mystic Village is a very unique experience. First of all, it's not just shopping.
No.
It's you can have lunch or dinner. You can take in a movie. There are tons of events. But I'd like to go back in time and talk about how it all came to be in the first place.
Well, I have to tell you, I'm proud of our history. My father bought this land, Martin Olson. He was a pioneer in shopping centers. In fact, in Groton, the first shopping center was built in 1952, and it was built by my father, and that's where the post office is, and Benny's and all of that.
That's more of a traditional
it
shopping
is.
plaza, where this is the complete opposite
Absolutely.
of that. Yeah.
And then he did New London in 53. But he bought this land, it was a farm, and he wanted, believe it or not, to build a mall in the 60s. So he brought representatives from the Edward Malley Company from New Haven to show them. It's an exit, off of 90, location. But they said we did not have the population back in 63, 64 to warrant a mall.
You mean Eastern Connecticut, Southeastern Connecticut, Southern Rhode Island? Yeah.
Nothing. Wow. So we sat with the land for a while. My brother came back into the business, and we always liked this village in Lahaska, Pennsylvania, Peddler's Village, that had buildings, but not full-size buildings. And my brother kept on going over the drawings. We wanted the parking lot to go all the way around so that when people came into the village, they could walk around, feel safe, they could go with their strollers. So we started in 72. 73 we opened. We had 45 stores then. And the uniqueness of it is it gave an opportunity to women. Back in 1970, 72, 73, women could not get a loan from a bank unless their husband signed.
Things were so different back then.
Oh my God. Well, it hasn't changed that much, but
but you can get a loan now.
Yes, you can. But they had a dream. And I say this one woman, I use her as an example in the 40 years, Grace Malloy, who had the toy soldier. She came to me wanting to open up a store. And she couldn't make up her mind. She'd have to sell a building with her brother if she was going to do it. Her husband worked at EB.
Now, she had an idea for the store and what to sell it, but she didn't know how to go about it,
Well,
right?
no, it was to get the funds.
Okay.
So she said a toy store. And I said to her, which I have done for so many years, why do you think you would be successful? And she said, I have 5 children. I know what I want to see in a toy store. In 40 years, I've had 2 owners. She had it for 20 years, and the next owner, Richard, and his wife, they expanded.
Wow.
The toy soldier.
Now, if you can have a business for 20 years,
Yep.
it was successful.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I have that here.
Yeah.
I have Georgettis that have been here for 40 years. Now, I will say I have a son who, when he didn't know after he got his MBA where to get a job, because the jobs were scarce then in the late 70s, early 80s, and I said, your grandmother on your father's side had her first store in your grandfather's shopping center in East Haven.
Wow.
And I said, and we love people. I said, you're a natural, buy a business. He bought a business and he never looked back. He has Bestemores, a Scandinavian shop that is named for my mother. It's Norwegian for grandmother. And if anybody at Christmas time wanted to feel spirit, you go into Bestemores. Or you go to Sophia's Magical Christmas, which is over there. which is named for my youngest granddaughter, and that's my son's store too.
That's fantastic.
So it's and he's been in business for over 28 years.
I should point out that we're taping today in the gazebo, under the gazebo, here right in the center pretty much of Old
Right.
Mystic Village, correct?
This is where we have our live entertainment. We had a little raindrops just a few minutes ago,
That's
and they'll
right.
come back. But people can come here in the summer, and on Saturday and Sunday at 2 o'clock can hear music that's free. They can take their children and go and see the ducks
Yeah.
at the duck pond.
Listen, before we started taping, the ducks are they think this is, the
It's their
whole
home.
village is home. They're just walking around the walkway
I know.
like regular people do.
Yes.
And there's a big duck pond here
Oh,
too, we should mention.
absolutely.
Yeah, they live there and they
Absolutely.
live in the whole village, and you have to make room for them too.
Oh,
Yeah.
but that's
The kids
that's
must love
part
that,
of the,
too.
It's not the kids, it's everybody.
Yeah.
Because I think as human beings we are part juvenile all our lives, and when you can see a duck, and I go by and I can never resist going quack 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 quack, quack. And they sometimes respond,
Yeah.
sometimes they don't.
What do they say?
Oh, well,
You've been
that's
here
my
40
secret.
years, you gotta know.
That's my secret.
Okay. I want to touch on something that you mentioned early on, because you have a unique perspective on this. Okay, you have your small businesses, your
Right.
downtown type place, your village type place.
Yep.
But then there came a time when the mall
Right.
design got really popular.
Oh, yeah.
And actually, it tempted away businesses from the downtown or the village type situation.
Well, I can tell you, when my father built New London Shopping Center in the 50s, he went to downtown New London merchants and asked them, I'm doing this, are you interested? He leaves the meeting and the report is they laughed.
Said it'll never work.
Because they said, it won't last 6 months. What happened was that was the downfall of New London. But then they rejuvenated.
They sure have. Yeah.
And it's like here, when we did this, we were competition to downtown Mystic.
Right.
Well, when we opened, what did they do? They painted the buildings downtown. Competition is sometimes very good.
Right, for the
Because it
economy
gets
in
you out
general?
of, well, no, it gets you out of that staid, I don't have to do anything. The door is open, they're going to come. It doesn't work that way.
You get complacent, right?
That's right.
But now I would say that the mall kind of design is, to be honest, you can go at one local mall and
Yeah.
it can be kind of a tumbleweeds rolling through at times. I think people have leaned back more toward the open air
Yeah.
type place, whether it's a plaza, strip
Right,
mall,
right.
a village,
No,
a downtown.
it's the convenience.
Is that what it is?
When you can go to a strip mall, you park the car right in front of the store.
Right.
There's a lot of walking in some of the malls. For me, I'm not really a mall shopper because all the major chains,
Are all
they're
in
in
there.
every single one of them.
Yes.
And so as a tourist, you don't go into a mall when you're shopping because you have it back home.
Yeah.
For something like this, they don't have it back home, or they don't have a Mystic.
Right.
We complement each other with the tourists, and we are the #1 tourist area in state of Connecticut and parts of Rhode Island.
Right.
We have a national ranked seaport. We have a national rank aquarium, and we have shopping here, and we have shopping down in historic downtown Mystic.
And like you said, you kind of all complement
Oh,
each other, don't
absolutely.
you? Yeah.
Absolutely.
You make a day out of it at the very least.
Yep.
You go and do one thing, have lunch, maybe go shop a little bit, go
Right.
here or there. You make it. It's all one
Yeah.
big. Should I call it a family? I mean, one
Well,
big
it
job?
is. We
Yeah.
all recognize the importance of tourism.
Right. And let's not even forget to mention the summertime in Mystic, which people think that, since it is such a touristy area, that maybe in the winter, not so much, but not true. I mean,
Yeah.
first of all, the seaport and the aquarium are open in the winter, and all the shopping that is done.
The seaport has been closing in the winter.
They're starting to close now a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But you've got your holiday shopping, so
Oh,
this could be
absolutely.
one of your. And I would say that as opposed to like a Black Friday kind of a thing, this would be more appropriate for small
Yes,
business Saturday.
and I think on that it's very important because our country thrives on small business,
Right.
and we want them to survive. But I think the secret here is that we are just known for all of our big events.
Right.
And starting, we have the Clam Chowder Festival in February. We have the Easter egg hunt out in the apple orchard for Easter. And for Christmas, well, of course, Halloween is
Gets all
everybody.
decked out, yeah.
Oh,
it's
I mean,
famous,
the owners come in their outfits and they give out free candy. I mean, it's heaven. And but at Christmas time, it is very unique, very unique.
Talk about it a little bit.
Well, this weekend on the 7th and 8th, we have the carnival, and it's a festival. We have 6 choirs from schools that are going to be performing. There's character animals walking around. And,
Not to mention the real ones.
Oh, yeah, well, that's true. There's too many of those. But it's very festive. But the event of the year is the Festival of Lights.
Let's pause right there and take a break, and I'll have you
Yes.
talk about that.
Good.
By the way, if you're watching the show and maybe an event or two that you've mentioned has passed by already, all the events are listed on the website. So as we go to break, we'll put the website up, and you can see a full list of all the events that are coming up. We will take a break and come back. We're here at historic Old Mystic Village in Mystic, Connecticut. I'm Sean Murphy. This is For the Record. Stay with us.
Something's not right.
My first symptoms were
Constant tingling in my toes.
Had double vision.
They said you have multiple sclerosis.
Kind of had to get a grasp on reality.
I had to adapt and change very rapidly.
I had to learn how to drive with my hands. Yeah, that was interesting.
A symptom may cause you not to be able to do that anymore. And at one point, I wasn't able to do any of those.
Since I've been cycling, it's definitely helped my walking.
It's a fantastic opportunity to be working together with a common goal of curing MS, and sharing is the key.
I'm Drew Brees, and being a dad means the world to me. And one of the most important things any parent can do is make sure their kids get active at least 60 minutes each day. Studies show that physical activity not only helps kids stay healthy, it can enhance important skills like concentration and problem solving, which can improve academic performance. This means physical activity can help your kids in the most important game of all, life.
Think 10 or 20 pounds of extra weight isn't much. We went to a park and we handed people 10 and 20 pound sandbags. Here's what happened.
I just truly feel it winded. I can feel it in my back. I didn't realize what extra weight on the body feels like.
Oh, I definitely felt it in my knees.
You can easily put 2, 3, 4, 5 pounds on in a year.
10 pounds makes a big difference.
No one liked carrying the extra weight, but people do it all the time. Wouldn't you like to drop that weight and stop picking up more?
I think this is a life changer for me.
Welcome back to For the Record. I'm Sean Murphy here in historic Old Mystic Village in Mystic, Connecticut with Joyce Olson-Resnikoff, who has been here for 40 years. By the way, the bells that you hear in the background, that's from, is that a church steeple that you're hearing them from?
It's a meeting house.
Okay.
And that meeting house has church services. We have weddings in there. And it was dedicated on opening day, September 11th, 1973, to my parents.
No kidding.
And there's a plaque in there, and their photo, yeah.
But also, it's programmed so that it plays Christmas carols,
Oh, absolutely.
too. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. As you can hear.
Yeah. That's beautiful. And that'll play throughout the holiday season.
Oh, absolutely.
Before we went to break, we were talking about the biggest event of the year that
Yes.
occurs here. Talk about it.
Well, probably, I want to say 28, 30 years ago, I was dating this man from New London, Iz Resnikoff. And when we started dating, it became Hanukkah time. And I said, well, let's have a little party at the house. I lined a driveway with these candles in bags. Well, all his friends, that's all they talked about. Oh, it's wonderful, wonderful. And I thought, well, if they liked it, I can do it here. So the first year, we did line all the walkways. I lit a lot of them. Friends lit them in the bags, and had, singers and free food. The next year, we got involved with the aquarium, and then they got involved. Then it was the next year, the whole street up there. So we
it
do
was beyond the
4,000.
village.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
4,000 candles, and then of course we have all the lights in the trees and the buildings, and it's very, very special. It's a tradition for families to stay in a hotel the night, just so that they can all come. I was in my office just the other day, and the phone rings, and the woman says, "When are you having that Festival of Lights?" We were there for the first time last year, and I want to celebrate my birthday. Wow. All my friends are coming. So what it is, it's seeing people you know. It's that spirit. This year it's closer to Christmas.
You do that on purpose?
Well, I don't want it the weekend before, because then the seaport does the carol sing. But we have the festive brass, and they march all around, and there's free food. And then they do the 12 Nights of Christmas in the meeting house, and it's hysterical. Oh, they perform so beautifully, and all the audience, they get all involved, and it's done, every half hour. So I'm very proud of that.
Wow. And it gets, I would imagine that over the course of many years, you've learned the bugs to work out of
sure.
it, and little things that might have fallen through the cracks long ago.
Yeah.
It's tweaked every year a little
absolutely.
bit. Yeah.
I used to walk around early in those early years in the costume animal.
Oh, is that right?
Oh, I loved it.
Nobody knew it was you?
Oh,
or,
no.
Yeah.
But I loved it. I'd walk up and, get down to the children's size. One comment I absolutely love. When I walk around, I try to listen to how they talk. A grandfather will say to his grandchildren, "I came here as a child, now I'm taking you." Or my son, I had virgin oil over there, extra virgin oil. He came as a child here, and he said, 3 years ago, I want to open up a store here. I always loved coming here as a child. And now he has 2 stores.
How often is a place available to be?
Very rare.
Very rare. The people don't leave. No.
We have Franklin's has been here 40 years. We have a wonderful kitchen shop, Grey Goose Cookery. They've been here for over 20 years. It's it becomes part of them. It's not just, I have a saying when I sign a lease. I shake their hand and I say, "Welcome to the family. If you have a problem, come talk to me. Otherwise, I can't help you."
Right.
So it's very inclusive, but we're family.
And to be honest, if you were doing, the mall thing, maybe you'd speak to somebody in corporate, somebody in the state, 12 states
That's
away.
Right. Sears used to own some of those malls in Rhode Island. But it's absentee landlord.
Right. Yeah, you get that. You get to talk to the people that are here.
Oh yeah.
And how are all the merchants amongst each other? They all get to know each other. They become
sure.
members of the family with each other.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
No question about it. In fact, I will say I was surprised the other day. I had a meeting with a prospective tenant for another shopping center, and he brought a board member because the board member said I had to come. She had to come here. She told me she was waiting to have a child. It took her 9 years.
Wow.
She worked here at the bank when it was Union Trust. And she said, I surprised her with a baby shower. And
you don't even remember that, do you?
No, I don't. And I gave her a cradle. And she said, I passed it down to my daughter, and now I have 4 grandchildren.
Wow.
But,
an example. That's just an example.
It is. We touch everybody's lives.
You mentioned the close relationship you have with the aquarium.
Yes.
Talk about that a little bit.
And that works out very well. We're very involved with them with the Festival of Lights. You go in there with a can of some kind of food, and they have entertainment there also. But, we benefit. We benefit from them, they benefit from us.
Just like any other place, whether it be a mall or, a downtown or a standard shopping plaza, do these merchants, is the majority of their business done during the holiday season when everybody is out shopping, or not so much?
No, you know what I always say? Summer is an extra Christmas.
For this place, for sure, yeah.
It's anywhere. if you have a tourist area. But for this kind of complex and how it's set out, it is 3 months of Christmas.
Is there a different crowd that comes in the summer? I mean, obviously there are more tourists that come in the summer, and they're a bit transient.
You also have Rhode Island
Yeah.
and Connecticut where they rent houses.
Right, the beaches.
At the beaches. And what are they going to do on a rainy day?
They're going to come to,
They can't go crazy with the kids all in the house. And we all know that. No, and then we have a movie house here. So, like you say, we also have the restaurants. And Steak Loft has been here for 40 years.
As someone who's been here for 40 years and seen all these businesses, most of them have stayed, hardly any have gone. Talk to me about the state of the economy these days. Now, supposedly we're out of the recession, or
supposedly.
Are you seeing a light at the end of the tunnel at least?
Well,
or?
I mean, I am very proud, 40 years being in business, and I have one vacancy.
Out of how many stores?
Well, we used to be 60. But so many have expanded.
Right. They take up more space.
So it gets down to about 50. But to be able to say, even through those years, to have one vacancy.
Is everything here your small mom and pop type business? They're not like a national chain anywhere around?
No. When I first opened here, we had Weather Vane, which was out of New Britain. And we had a Newport Creamery out of Rhode Island.
I remember that, yeah.
Otherwise, that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me how the patterns and the of shoppers has changed over the years. What's different about your typical shopper?
Well, I had a doll museum in here because her husband managed a men's store out of
Close
New
by
Britain.
or New Britain?
New Britain.
Okay.
No, Essex. Oh, isn't that awful?
That's
well,
right.
it's because of my age.
You're going to use that excuse.
Yes, that's right. Well, I'm a great-grandmother. Oh, yeah.
Wow,
Going on
impressive.
the second one. But I don't have... We are now having more clothing stores. You don't see too many men's stores.
Right.
Now I have Cooper Shop. That's been, I think, a change.
A trend be forming?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I think men don't get dressed up like they used to. It's more, it came from California and it came here.
Right, that casual kind of style? Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. But we've always had a kitchen shop, and she has three stores, Suzanne. And but I'm proud of all of them because they work hard.
Do you look for like eclectic type places in general when someone comes and or you'll just listen to what they have to say, what kind of store there is?
Oh, yeah.
Does it have to be a right fit for you?
Oh, yes.
Yeah?
I will not, I try not to duplicate.
Good, yeah.
And another thing, and I just had to refuse somebody because he wanted to come in for the festival, I do not have vendors in here because they come when it's high time.
Right.
And my family here that rents here, they pay rent 12 months a year.
Right.
So no, I don't.
Is it a community in the sense that when it's time to advertise, everybody kind of gets together and kind of goes in?
Well,
on
they
it?
have a merchants association.
Okay.
And so that has been, I must say, the last 5 years, the merchants have really pulled together and put on some fantastic festivals.
Right. And there are so many for you to see and experience yourself.
Yeah.
So go to the website. We'll put the link up on. We've been putting it up for the whole show. And check out and experience all that Old Mystic Village has to offer. I will say, Joyce, that I have been here in this very gazebo doing radio broadcasts and now a TV broadcast.
Yeah.
And I hope to come for many years more.
Well, I hope so.
All right.
And I want to wish everybody from all our families here at Old Mystic Village a very happy holiday and a healthy and happy New Year, and create memories for your families.
Joyce Olson-Resnikoff of Old Mystic Village, thank you so much for having us at your place.
Thank you, Sean.
And thank you for joining us for another edition of For the Record. I am Sean Murphy. You can see this show and many others on our YouTube sites. We will see you next time. Take care.
Bye.